Nankou Campaign, a.k.a. Operation Chahar, known by the Japanese as and by the Chinese as the, occurred in August 1937, following the Battle of Beiping-Tianjin at the beginning of China's War of Resistance against Japan and the Second World War. This was the second attack by the Kwantung Army and the Inner Mongolian Army of Prince Tehwang on Inner Mongolia after the failure of the Sui-Yuan campaign. The Chahar Expeditionary Force was under the direct command of General Hideki Tojo, the Chief of Staff of the Kwantung Army. A second force from the Piping Railway Garrison Force, later the First Army under General Kiyoshi Katsuki, was also involved. Japanese order of battle. The Chinese forces opposing this invasion of Sui-Yuan were the Sui-Yuan Pacification Headquarters under the command of General Yan Zishan. Fuzaoya, the governor of Sui-Yuan, was made commander of the 7th Army Group, and Lu Juming, governor of Chahar, was made its deputy commander, defending Chahar with the 143rd Division and 2 brigades. General Tang Enbo was sent by Chiang Kai-shek with the 13th and 17th Corps from the Central Army and made frontline commander-in-chief. The 1st Cavalry Corps was sent to Chahar under the command of Chiao Cheng-shou, facing the Mongolian forces of Tehwang. Chinese order of battle. Following the loss of Peking, Tang Enbo's 13th Corps took up positions in depth along the Peking-Sui-Yuan Railway at Nankou, and further to the rear at Juyongguan. GAO's 17th Corps stationed its 84th Division at Shicheng, Jiangqing, and Lungquan, covering the flank of the 13th Corps from Japanese forces in Chahar. The 21st Division was deployed in Huailei, on the railroad to the rear of Tang's forces. Zhao Cheng-shou's 1st Cavalry Corps, Lu Ruming's 143rd Division, and 2 Peace Preservation Brigades began an attack on the Mongol forces in northern Chahar. Battles around Nankou. On August 8, the Japanese 11th Independent Mixed Brigade, commanded by Gen. Shigeyasu Suzuki, began their attack on the left flank of the 13th Corps position at Nankou, but were thwarted after 3 days by the difficult terrain and the stubborn resistance of the Chinese. A new attack on August 11, supported by tanks and aircraft, took Nankou Station, after which Gen. Suzuki's brigade advanced on Juyong Pass. That same day, Chiang Kai-shek ordered the activation of the 14th Army Group under Gen. Wei Li Huang, coming by rail from Yingqiachang to Yixian. Elements of the 14th Army Group were sent on a 10-day march through the plains west of Beiping in a flanking movement in support of Tang Enbo's forces. The Chinese First Army made attacks on the Japanese forces in Liangxiang and Chailai to distract them, and sent a detachment to Hailung Pass to cover the advance of 14th Army Group. From the dates on a Japanese map of the battle, these forces did not reach the area until September, when it was too late, and clashed with Japanese forces from September 9 to 17 without achieving its objective. On August 12, Tang Enbo's army counterattacked, surrounding the Japanese and cutting them off from their supplies and communications. On August 14, Seishiro Itagaki's 5th Division was sent to the relief of the 11th Independent Mixed Brigade at Juyongguan. On August 16, Itagaki arrived at Nankou and began an enveloping attack on the right flank of 13th Corps, making a 5-pronged attack at Huang Lao Yuan. The 7th Brigade of 4th Division under Shijiu was moved to block this maneuver, and reinforcements of Li Jianzhou's 21st Division and Zhu Huaibing's 94th Division were brought up, engaging in days of heavy fighting. On August 17, General Yan Zishan, director of the Taiyuan Pacification Headquarters, directed the 7th Army, under Fuzaoya, to move its 72nd Division and 3 brigades by rail from Tatung to Huailei to reinforce Gen. Tang Enbo's forces. Battle of the Great Wall. Meanwhile, in northern Chahar, the Chinese 1st Cavalry Corps captured Shangchu, Nanhochen, Shangli and Watay from the puppet Mongolian army of Prince Th. Elements of the 143rd Division took Zhonglai, while its main force reached Changpei. During this Chinese advance, the Japanese Chahar Expeditionary Force under Lt. General Hideki Tojo, composed of the mechanized 1st Independent Mixed Brigade and the 2nd and 15th Mixed Brigades, gathered for a counter-offensive from Changpei to Kalgan. From August 1819, the Chahar Expeditionary Force counter-attacked from Changpei, and took Shenwei Taiko on the Great Wall and the Hannou Dam. The scattered and poorly equipped Chinese forces were unable to stop the Japanese, who now threatened the Peking, Sui-Yuan Railway at Kalgan. On August 20, Gen. Fu Zhaoyi's 7th Army diverted its 200th and 211th Brigades, which had been moving south by rail to join Gen. Tang Enbo's forces, back to defend Kalgan. Fu's remaining 72nd Division arrived to reinforce Chenpian, and his 7th Separate Brigade was sent to defend the railhead at Wailai. On August 21, the Japanese forces broke through at the villages of Henglincheng and Chenbiancheng. Gen. Tang Enbo's forces awaiting reinforcement, but, having suffered over 50% casualties, still defended Wailai, Chuang Pass, and Yanqing. Lu Juming's 143rd Division fell back to defend Kalgan from the advancing Japanese. On August 23, as Seishiro Itagaki's 5th Division pushed toward Wailai from Chenpian against Ma Yanshou's 7th Separate Brigade, advance elements of the 14th Army Group arrived on the Japanese flank at Qingpaikou, driving off the Japanese outpost there and contacting the Japanese forces advancing to Chenpian and the front beyond. However, they were delayed in crossing the Yungting River, and their attack was delayed until it was too late to stop the Japanese advance. Due to poor communications, they also failed to link up with Gen. Tang Enbo's forces during the battle. After 8 days and 8 nights fighting, Itagaki, on August 24, linked up with the Kwantung Army's 2nd Independent Mixed Brigade at Xiaoyuan. Withdrawal. On August 26, Gen. Tang Enbo's forces were ordered to break out toward the Sangchian River, while Lu Juming's forces were ordered to withdraw to the far side of the Xiangyang River. On August 29, the Japanese unit, called the Weak Column by the Chinese and the Owazumi Detachment by the Japanese, attacked. According to HSU Longshuin, this unit moved south from Tushikou, and on August 30 attacked Yanqing via Chicheng, but was repulsed by the Chinese 17th Corps. A Japanese map of the campaign shows that the unit moved to Gaiwan on August 25 into Shanhua by September 7. Cutting the railroad in the rear of Tang's forces and east of Chinese forces along the Great Wall. According to the Chinese account, after repulsing the Wei Column's attack, the Chinese 17th Corps withdrew to join the rest of Tang Enbo's force on the far side of the Sangchian River. Kalgan fell to the Japanese on September 3, after Gen. Fu Zhaoyi's 200th and 211th Brigades failed in a counterattack to recapture Kalgan. Fu's forces fell back to the west to defend the railway to Sui-Yuan at Shikoku Pao. This brought an end to Operation Chahar. According to Time magazine, on September 4, the Japanese-aligned South Chahar government was set up at Kalgan. After the fall of Kalgan, Chahar's complete independence from China was declared by 100 influential persons, headed by Prince Th. a pro-Japanese Mongolian who had long been the head of the Inner Mongolia for Inner Mongolians movement. It was Prince Th. with his Mongolian levies, who helped the Japanese to take Kalgan. Prince Th. was rewarded for his collaboration with the highest position in this new Japanese puppet state, the Mongol United Autonomous Government. Notes Owazumi Detachment. It was a battalion from 4th Infantry Regiment of 2nd Division under the Kwantung Army. But, its course is different than the Chinese account says. It moved from Gaiwan to Shanhua. C.